יש הרבה שלג. יוצאים, הולכים הביתה. יופי. בעיקר שיש שלג. It's like in Russia. I remember. Every year we had a lot of snow. It was great. Yeah. So guys,
Ну что я вам расскажу, ребята? Не помню, когда родился. Не помню. Вот, ну, такие даты я не помню, я не люблю вообще помнить эти даты. Помню только, когда мой муж скончался. Вот. Но был мальчик такой, хорошенький такой. Я ему еще помню петушковые. Под печку клала, доставала ему, говорю: Никитка, бери петушок, кушай. Ой, Никитка, забыла, как его зовут. Не Никитка, Илюша. Я говорю: вот тебе петушок. Такой хороший мальчик был, вот такой прям. Иногда один раз он мне сказал: у вас что, новый платок? А я расплакалась. Говорю: да, новый, заметил. Какой мальчик. Девочке ему повезло, вот это, с которой он женится, повезло.
Yeah, I was just always told to be careful because she was a baby and not a toy. Just being cute. Little funny ball haircut. I had this thing for Care Bears, and I have this memory. Liron loved the Care Bears, and I kind of did, but I wasn't like embarrassed to say that I liked the Care Bears too. Yeah. So I tried to convince Liron that she really wanted to watch them, and that like it'd be okay if she would watch the Care Bears right now, and like it was okay, like we didn't have to watch what I wanted, and you know she'd be like, no, I need to do homework right now. I was like, no, Liron, it's really okay, you can watch it. I definitely remember discussing the values of walking barefoot at family vacations, and then I'd say we took it in our own directions. Definitely. But we knew for a long time that she had a thing for Ilya. We knew, like she chose him. She chose him pretty soon when she got here, and well, I think Liron's first words were in high school, and there were like a million poems that she had written between like age 0 and 14. And in all these songs, and we're like, wow, Liron talks, and she's amazing.
What did she used to write about? What did Liron write? Yeah.
I wish I could tell you. She would write about things in a very beautiful way, and most of the time I wouldn't understand. I'm not really a poetry guy anyway, but I would just, it's like even now I can listen to her singing and I'll start to cry because I hear the words. I don't really know what they mean. I just know that they kind of touch on something that I guess deeper places in me understand, without having, you know, to tell the less deep places of me what they mean. But yeah, you can ask her what she wrote about, and I'm not sure if she'd tell you.
What do you mean that before high school she didn't talk really?
Well, Liron didn't talk before high school. She didn't talk, she didn't sing, she didn't do anything. She kind of would sit. She would kind of sit and agree with everything, and get frustrated with the rest of us if we'd talk too much, which I guess we usually did. And then she started to talk, you know, age 22 or whatever.
It was about time.
It was about time. But it came in a good time. and she knows what to say, and it's usually the right thing when she says it. She played one song for this guy she would like stalk around at his concerts, Matt Nathanson, and she played one song for him and his recording studio friend, and his friend was like, wow, well, I'll give you free recording time, you know, in the studio. And I can't imagine that people like that often give away free time. There was talk about California, da 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 da. I don't wanna listen. I don't wanna listen. Oh, that'll do.
And this was the routine. You know, if you were going to your own birthday party, you were gonna have the puppet show and you were gonna have macaroni and cheese, and it was nice. Well, this handshake, which is clearly not a secret handshake, though it is an exclusive handshake, it actually did represent the river and the jail. I think maybe Ilya was the one who came up with that. I don't know, we had something going, we wanted something with like elbows, and it's sort of just what came to be. And Ilya's like, yeah, you know, the jail and the river. Yes. He understood. He understood, which is probably why he and Liron really understand each other. Throughout elementary school, Liron had many admirers, for obvious reasons. She's a wonderful, beautiful girl. I don't know if I want to elaborate more than that. As you know, in Jerusalem, Purim is celebrated the following day, in Shushan Purim. So she had the first day of Purim in the north with her midrasha, and then for Shushan Purim she came down to Jerusalem and she was with me at Midrasha Derova. And she wasn't dressed up. And one of the girls in my program came up to her and said, with full seriousness, "Oh, are you dressed up like a hippie?" And she was just kind of like, "No, get out of my face." No, I'm sure she was very nice about it. I think it was the summer after 12th grade. Liron had taken up guitar, had some guitar lessons, and started writing music. And that summer she began performing at this little club downtown called the Orange Bear. It was cool. We had this friend who could get on stage and sing a song and play guitar. And she was really good. From the beginning, she was really good, really talented.
כל הבנות פשוט היו דלוקות על איליה. כל הבנות, הם כזה, וואי, הוא כזה חתיך, וואי, הוא כזה חתיך, הוא כזה מדהים, הוא כזה זה. ואיליה היה כזה טוב, עם לב טוב, ועוזר, וחמוד, וגבוה, ולבן. ואיליה בא אחריו, גם בנעלה, ותשמע, הוא כאילו בא קצת לעשות חיים אחרים, לחיות חיים אחרים. אבל יכולת לראות את השינוי, יכולת לראות בחור מאוד רוסי בכיתה י', אחר כך בחור מאוד קצת שונה בכיתה י"א, ולקראת סוף י"ב הבחור כבר לא הולך סתם עם כובע בייסבול כזה, הבחור כבר הולך עם כיפה סרוגה, שזה וואלה. בתיכון, איליה בלהקת רוק בתיכון. זה היה חבורת רוסים, כאילו כולם רוסים, רוב השירים שהם היו שרים זה שירים רוסים, אבל עשו גם כמה שירים באנגלית. היו לאיליה כל פעם נגיעות כאלה לאנגלית, עצם העובדה שהוא לימד אותי אנגלית, אחר כך הוא היה שר שירים באנגלית, והם הופיעו עם זה. עשו חזרות בחדר כזה ממש ממש קטן וחנוק, תמיד היה ריח של גרביים. יש לו את כל האופי של בסיסט, כל התיכון הסתלבטנו עליו על זה שהוא בסיסט, פשוט בסיסט. מי זה איליה? איליה הוא בסיסט. בסיסט הזה. בסיסט. הגיע אלינו גורו, מה לעשות? הגיע גורו, אדון זלר, בתור מורה חיילת. וכל הזמן היו מפטפטים בשיחות וזה, ולאט לאט. קיצור, לאט לאט אני רואה שאיליה מתחיל להיות גם ללבוש יותר כיפה, לשאול שאלות, פתאום אני קולטת שאיליה גם רוצה לעשות גיור.
I do want to say that at the Beit Din, I want to say something amazing about Ilya. That at the Beit Din also, he knew a lot. He's a really smart guy. And he's sitting there, but you know how sometimes people who are pretty quiet can come through And the Beit Din said to him, listen, Eliyah, you look very sweet, you know a lot, but let's wait till next year. Let's see after your army how you're doing, how Eliyah changed. In 1 second, he got up, he banged on the table, and he said, no, I want to convert now. I want to be Jewish now. And they were so shocked by this complete and total transformation that he went through that they were just speechless, and they said, oh, okay. And that was it. And I remember just sitting there saying, wow, this is part of Eliyah that I've never seen. This is amazing. And it was like a glimpse of his power, of his intensity. You know, I also want to say that every now and then when I look at Eliyah, I say, we go way back. I remember Eliyah at his bris. So that's how far back I go. And when I said to him, look, after the conversion, before the army, you should go to some mechina to learn a little bit. And he said to me, I'm not going to a mechina. And I was like, oh, I'm going to have to argue with him. He said, I'm going to your yeshiva. And I said, what? He said to me, I'm going to Otniel.
הוא עושה את זה עם כל המאבקים שהוא היה צריך לעבור, כאילו, בקושי לדעת עברית ולסיים מסכת ברכות, אני זוכר כאילו בעתניאל, שכאילו כולנו ירדנו לחדר אוכל, לעשות שם מסיבה ענקית. כי באמת זה כאילו כל העניין של הרצון והמסירות נפש שיש לי כל הזמן. אז ידעתי שאם יש משהו שאני רוצה לקבל לחיים שלי, זה התורה הזאת. It really is the Mashiach for me. אני זוכר שהיינו עושים שמירות בבוסטר ובנגועות, והיינו שלנו ביחד כאילו את המגינה של הכבד שבס עם כל האדמו"רים. כאילו היינו עוברים את כל האדמו"רים שאנחנו מכירים. זה היה מעביר כאילו 8 שעות של שמירה באמצע הלילה עם גשם, עם קור, וסתם היית מרגיש כאילו שאתה בכלל לא בצבא. מזמן השלום משק, אז הם עושים כאילו הרסה והססה שרים לכבד שבס המ"פ והשמר שרים לכבד שבס ריקות צבא הגנה לישראל שר לכבד שבס.
I think Liron sort of had this idea in her head for a while that she loved that sound of like guitar and cello together. She really wanted to like, you know, start something. So they would just, at first I think they would just jam together, and then Liron started writing some lyrics to like put to things that they wanted to record, and they started recording, and they performed a few times on campus at this like little cafe, and the band was called Farm to Market, which Liron like thought a lot about the name.
Liron had a very mystical gaze in class. Sometimes I wasn't sure if she was listening. She'd just stare at me like this. And then if I'd call on her, she would be like, huh? If I was an existentialist philosopher, a Sardian philosopher, I would think of eliyah&liron in the sense of roles in society and trying to get past those roles. Like when Liron first met Eliyah, she looked at him and said, this man is tall, he has a long pace, he's slightly balding in the front. And after time, she got to know him better. The Eliyah, the inner Eliyah. It's the same thing for Eliyah to Liron. When he first met her, he said, this girl has a squeaky voice. This girl, she likes to dance. And then later on in time, he discovered the inner Liron.
Okay, so there was a Shabbat meal, and I was sitting right over here, and Liron was sitting right over here, and Ori was sitting next to Liron over here, and Mansfield was sitting next to Ori over here. And I remember Liron looked at me across the table, and she said to me, Sharon, should I tell them? And I said, Liron, do not tell them. Why would you tell them? And she said, I want to tell them. And I said, do whatever you want. So Liron looks over at Ori, and she goes, guys, I have a crush on Eliyah. And Ori and Mansfield were like dumbfounded, did not know what to do with themselves. And they both looked at each other, and then looked at Liron, and were like, if you mess with him, we'll kill you. And she was like, ah! And they were like, no. If you mess with him, we will kill you. We know him longer.
I don't know, I think eliyah&liron kind of, she speaks in English, she speaks in Hebrew, but their language is much more deeper than that. It's beyond. It's beyond. It's all the things on the outside, that's the outside. They have simanim with each other.
When I think of the unification of eliyah&liron, I think of a piece of material that's been broken into two. These two pieces of chalk may be on different sides of the planet. But if the ecological events are just right, it brings the two pieces of chalk together as one again.
Вдруг мне сказали, что женится. Я говорю, о, наконец-то, он же женится, это хорошо. Видела девушку его, худенькая, надо, чтобы приехала к нам в деревню, поела. И, конечно, вот я думала, где же оно было у меня. Вот сегодня Петька отдал долг свой за эту самую. Это Илюше на свадьбу передайте. И я знаю, пусть холодильник купят или телевизор. Телевизор пусть купят, сейчас хорошая есть скидка, пусть купит. У нас в этом в супере, в этом, неважно. Ну и счастья я ему желаю, девушки его, пусть приезжают, нажарю им блинов, и все будет хорошо, здоровья им, и всего самого наилучшего. Люблю, я жду в гости.
And you for me, so happy together. Toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me. So happy together, so happy together.